Duro does find the W, but doesn't find the snap. We'll see Canyon moving on down here as the Realm Warp is going to join him. Flash out from Canyon. Does have Chovy moving on down as UCal flashes forward. The Aegis going to be helping as Ruler turns up as well. They want to really kill this Pantheon, but they're not going to be able to do so before Chovy grabs first blood. Finally, they'll take down Canyon, but there's a beautiful wall to set up for the return kill onto Willa. A 2-for-1 trade for Gen.G so far as the Deadly Flourish is going to connect on Andal as well, as there is Chovy finding it from downtown, and they're going to make it a 3-for-1.
This can be... And the fact that Ruler has that, he's in prime position. Now they are looking for UCal.
Yeah, UCal just going to be snared up here by Duro. Canyon does get put into the room prison, but I don't think he's surviving. Oh, makes it out just barely. As Ruler now looking for the fight against LazyFeel, who's arcane shifting after him. The minions were angry, and now the curtains have been called. True Rush puts him in position, but he does have the barrier there, and he'll slow down as Canyon also not going to be able to close the gap until right now. Takes a turret shot, though, as the Aegis Assault comes on in. Andal will explode as Duro's able to grab that one, and there's the snare, there's the shield, and down will go LazyFeel as somehow Gen.G made that work.
LazyFeel trying to get so much done in that situation. Now looking at Willa to see if he can clean up.
My goodness, this is looking dangerous. The Cataclysm
flash
gets flashed, so no damage does come on through. And then Duro is just going to snare him. The follow-up Deadly Flourish will be there. Bottom side as Andal's having a bit of a sing. And KRX, the flash encore going to come on through. The beat drop comes down. LazyFeel finding the combo. Ruler staying alive for the moment as Duro looking to try and get some of that health bar back and avoids a whole bunch of those skill shots and will keep himself alive. Meanwhile, the train has left the station in this top lane as Keen going aggressive onto Rich. There's a flash solo kill from this Scion.
I will say LazyFeel has been kind of popping off for some of these fights, but
oh dear. Rich does still have flash as now the curtains have been called. Duro comes from behind the turret though. What the heck? What was that? Him there.
Okay. Bye, Albert.
Oh, bye, Albert.
Again.
So many times we've had to say goodbye to Albert as Rich is going to knock into the wall. Do you think that Keen noticed? I don't.
I don't think he felt it.
No. It's just, you know, you have to do a lot of work to try and do damage to this Scion. Not as much to do damage to Willa, though, who is getting pushed out by Canyon. Deadly Flourish is good, but the buffer is there as the spear is going to connect. Andal is just nothing he can do about that. Sandwiched into the wall.
Ruler's ult is about to come up.
There it is. The curtains have been called as now LazyFeel does get out of the way of it, but still gets stunned up by Chovy. The bullets are going to rain down onto Willa, and now it's 10-2 in favor of Gen.G. This is demolition in Vietnam.
Just feels like a regular theme of this game has been members of Gen.G, often Duro, like behind the enemy turret.
Doesn't even matter too much as Canyon pretty deadly at this point in time with a 1,200 gold lead. Very similar to that of Chovy and of Ruler. They will be able to take down this dragon as well. Chovy might be in a little bit of trouble as Rich throws a house at him and UCal is going to show up, but he just flashes away and he'll be all right.
Yeah, Rich just not quite in range to get that wallop stun down onto Chovy. The slow coming in clutch there.
It doesn't make Shelly upset. So Duro just going to leave after taking a bit of Q damage. But we have bounties set up, ladies and gentlemen. This is it's really getting into dire straits for KRX. They are more than 5 tempo though, you know? Not 100% kill contribution, but is 100% death contribution. Which is, I mean, I'll take any proactivity at this point. As the teleport's coming on in here, Chovy just wandering around doing lots of damage to Willa. Canyon coming on forward, not hit by that encore as the Seraphine is just going to go down. True Shot Barrage hits Keen, I think, but I'm not entirely sure. As Canyon gets a big old shield, he'll be okay. Rich, he will not though, as now UCal stuck underneath the turret, the huge wall. And speaking of walls, Keen is one.
Yeah, as soon as Keen got aggro, I'm like, that turret's irrelevant.
Yep.
Like, it is not a factor at all. KRX try and make a play and get shut down. Now LazyFeel has to do some fancy footwork.
Well, is able to just arcane shift out of the cone. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, saves you having to dodge. See these AD carries definitely going very aggressively against
another turret shot.
That will force him to back away, but he will be okay. The rest of the team not so much. Go down that line again because
you'd hope so.
This one is feeling a little bit extremely doomed.
A little bit extremely indeed. As, oh my goodness, he was dead before the train got there.
Yeah, I think he was waiting for Keen to come before flashing or using barrier, and he just got caught off guard by the Pantheon burst. He has 6 kills now, by the way.
Yep. And also, that's why we don't blame LazyField for not pressing those buttons, because Dime, pretty good turning circle on good old Shelly. As there's the stun, but does eat it, does Willa, with his flag and drag. But the inner turret's going to be taken down. That gold lead moves to 10k, sub 20 minutes. Inner turret's up in top and mid, but I don't know for very much longer.
Just saw an ult
Entire Mikhail's ahead of Andal right now. Just makes Ruler so incredibly safe. Game.
Yeah, LazyField at least has his core items done, which is obviously a big point of power for the Ezreal, but is still very behind.
Yeah, he is able to do a bit of damage here, but the Arcane Shift is going to be immediately punished as the Flash does have to come on through. They do take down the Pantheon, and KRX actually finding a bit of an angle in this one. The Realm Warp to try and push it further even more, as Ruler could be in trouble. Rich is running real fast, trying to catch up to him, but the turn is on, and down will go the Gnar. Keen, I mean, they're not going to kill him. The rest of Gen.G, though, can they actually catch up? As LazyField able to Arcane Shift to safety. 1-for-1 though, definitely pretty good here for KRX, as they are the team that was exceedingly far behind. An even trade certainly going to benefit them way more, as the wall going to get set up. Willa going to have to flag and drag over it, and it is going to be Andal able to escape as well. So Gen.G losing out on 1,000 of their gold lead. Good idea.
I think that's a shrewd investment.
Well, Keen's at it again, as he does manage to land onto UCal. Gets the knock up there as well, as LazyField is going to be the first target. They take him down immediately. Great flash from Duro, avoids Rich, as Canyon might be his target, and I think Ruler is going to be able to protect him this time. And in fact, Canyon gets the work done himself with his spear. Now the Deadly Flourish going to connect onto Andal as well, slowed down by the Mantra Q, and he will be dead. Gen.G getting some revenge from their jungler dying the first time around. That's 3 on the floor for KRX, and I think they will just break open the base. Chovy just happily farming in the top lane.
Yep. Feels like this game was done a while ago, but they are just putting extra nails
done
into
now.
The yeah. KRX at least going for these attempts, trying to make things happen, but just being met with a gigantic gold lead. CC gets laid, doesn't get to play the game. And Rich, oh, we get another fight.
All right, we're straight back into it. Andal just going to get crashed into by a train. That one generally hurts. As Ruler taking a lot of killing, but he will finally go down, as they did just Realm Warp on top of him. But now, oh goodness, like reality, Gen.G are just crashing down on KRX. It's a triple for Canyon, as the wall is phenomenal from Chovy. UCal getting a fair bit of AoE down here, but it is Chovy that's able to get that work done. And now Willer is running away as the last man standing of KRX. He does have...
I'm going to say something. He was for sure going for that Penta. You could see him lining it up.
Yep.
He popped the scared Yumi emote after it got stolen by Chovy. He was hoping. That was his angle. That was his chance. And honestly, maybe for the best for Gen.G, because I know they would have chased Willa to the end of the year.
They would have.
And not gone for Baron.
All right, Kane. Man, there are train tracks all over the place here as he just rams it into the turret. They don't have a lot of minions.
Yeah.
But Kane does have a lot of health bar. So I guess they are just going to stand here and take down this turret here. Brute Force is the way, as Aurora the Slayer comes on through. Deadly Flourish connects onto LazyField there as well. There's the Encore onto the front line, as Chovy gets knocked back by Rich and flashes immediately out of the way. The Cataclysm comes on down, but they're a bit off kilter, and the gold lead is just massive. The Jarvan will finally fall, and the curtains, I think, certainly called for KRX here in this game, as the second inhibitor likely to follow suit, as Rich just looking to get back towards the rest of his teammates. And Gen.G, I mean, there is a Canyon with a very... Keen can die.
12,000 gold down. But unfortunately...
Hidden tech.
Is he going... Maybe.
Fourth item, Ghost Blade, so he can chase down his foes.
Here's my theory. Maybe he is going Serpent's Fan. Because there is...
Oh, that'd be cute.
A non-zero amount of shielding on this side of KRX, you know, from UCal with his
I would like
Willer and Andal.
I would hate that the least.
Yeah,
I think.
I agree with that.
That's all right. There is the jump in Gnar from Rich, and a decent encore there as well, as Chovy is taking some damage, taken down to the egg, in fact, as LazyField off to the side, trying to get that damage through. Does have to Arcane Shift over the wall, though, and it's a double kill for Ruler. Yeah, Chovy, he went to the egg, but then he was just fine. The triple set up for Rula. He wants the penta, and UCal is set up for it, and Chovy steals another one with Willa left alive. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. It's like a dance, isn't it? As Gen.G just do the same steps over and over again. It is going to be a full house. Rula's full of Chovies in the end as the ace comes through, and the Nexus is finally taken down.
Chovy really said to his teammates, if you want to get a penta, you've got to... But he has been spotted now. Canyon's going to try and force him away.
Yeah, when comes Lightning coming on down as Canyon fighting this. Does go untargetable to try and avoid some of that damage and just flips over the wall. Will be all right. But Willer is also keeping him at bay. Exactly right. Canyon's in a bit of trouble. Duro is going to make his way over, though. The rest of KRX really do want to try and do something about this. Canyon's out of this fight completely. LazyFeel is so low, though, as Rula looking for some angles. And Willa, he's forced to flash. It's the flash forward from Duro to grab first blood for the Lulu.
Canyon was just keeping Willa audio cues.
Maybe he was playing at the time where Amumu was like global, as I'm gonna have to hold that thought as Willa gets ulted on here by Canyon, and it's just the Shen delivery. Willa tries to take the scuttle exit, and that will be denied as Canyon
gonna lethality after you proc it.
Yep.
And you deal damage equal to, when you're melee, 9% of the target's current health.
Whoa, the doggos came from everywhere here as Canyon does make his way up, but not before dealing a lot of damage to LazyFeel. Drake goes over to KRX though, and LazyFeel has some honey fruit to eat to help him get back to a decent health bar.
Yeah, so you saw Canyon go in, do a lot of damage, but didn't quite have the follow-up to make it fully work, and it is KRX picking up the dragon.
Yeah, you can see Chovy looking a little worse for wear in this mid lane as well. As Canyon desperately wanting to find an angle here. Does not have it right now, as when becomes Lightning is going to miss. That might be an invitation here, as a dagger will connect onto LazyFeel. Now the flash in, but the polymorph is instant. Duro has been too good on this Lulu at denying any of the action, but Rich, he's dominating forward. The flash from Duro, and Ruler is looking a little too tasty. He's gonna get taken down. Oh no!
He has barrier.
That's the Acathian surprise, and LazyFeel does have the barrier to deal with it. Otherwise, he would have been definitely dead.
Echoes of Hellion completed as well.
Yep, LazyFeel has been done with his item as well pretty quickly. As LazyFeel now with the culling, Ruler down to 50%, but LazyFeel as well looking a little bit worse for wear. Ruler just kills him! And he just stands his ground. I mean, it looked very, very close, but now Chovy's moving in, looking for Andil. He will find the stun. There's the ulti from Canyon, and that is going to guarantee it. Down goes the Melio. And Canyon uses doggos to tank up the turret as well.
LazyFeel trying to make
it. Looks like Gen.G are distracted by things elsewhere. Canyon on the Krugs right now, so it is going to be Chemtech Soul for the second time today, Orcs. I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it's just happening more and more. UCal taking some damage here as we have our buttons traded once again. And Willa fighting against Canyon, the Cycler Sword working out here. Rich trying to get around this minion wave. Polymorph comes on in once again as Ruler wanting to get some plate value where he can. And Canyon could be in some trouble. Is of course the Neferi, so it can bounce over walls and go untargetable, so it'll be all right.
That's one of the things with Neferi is that obviously the W is a great tool for disengaging, but the E is
trying to fight against Canyon, very close to his Black Cleaver as well as LazyFeel taking some damage from Ruler. Caustic Spittle coming on down as he gets the extra movement speed, and man, this Lucian just cannot really trade at this point in time as Ruler walking up towards Willa. Has to sidestep the living artillery as UCal coming on over, gets down a gravity well, but that is all he's really able to offer, and down will go Shelly with not much of a response.
This Cog Lulu just posing such a threat right now. If KRX aren't able to like step up and threaten, he can just get so much damage down to anyone in range, and this composition from KRX is pretty short range. There's no one who's that capable of outranging Ruler other than the culling. That's the only thing that's really a threat. The Arcane Storm can get dropped on you. Those are kind of the concerns, but otherwise, from again, from this bot lane duo. But yeah, the Navori just means that one of the big weaknesses of Kog'Maw is
yeah, W or bust, right?
Yeah,
okay,
we'll
hold our thought for a moment. The ulti in from Keen as Rich, I think, has overextended. Teleport from UCal as well may immediately be regretted as the reset comes on forward, and it's a double kill for this Neferi. Now an angry pandemonium Tibbers is running on top of them as Keen gets a big old shield. He's going to survive as Ruler is now just hitting them with all of his buttons from a very long way away. Shelly also getting involved. She's going to get a charge onto the turret. Won't be able to take it down just yet. Canyon will be able to take down this Brambleback. And Gen.G, there is DRX who did manage to pick up Double Dragon. Will they be able to get Triple Dragon, though, is the question. And by the amount of damage Willa took, I think the answer might be no, as Chovy taking some damage here. Tibbers just gets pulled back, and Willa is out of this fight. So that is going to be Gen.G locking down the Drake with not much of a response.
Such a struggle for DRX to push up here. I mean, they have 2 dragons in the bag, so it's not the end of the world that this one goes over Gen.G, especially with it being a Chemtech Soul, but this gold discrepancy once again, it's not as extreme as game 1, but that doesn't say much.
It still feels extraordinarily extreme as Canyon just going to ult on top of Lazyfield. And the Living Artillery comes down. There's Willa finding a bit of an angle here as Canyon just bounces his way out, almost survives. As the Wind Becomes Lightning does go wide, but Willa able to walk it off with the help of Andal and all of his buttons. And so they take down Canyon, and they lose no one.
Insane that Willa's able to get out of that again. Andal coming in clutch there to save his jungler. Now Keen stepping up.
Yeah, I don't know whether they're going to be able to keep the Raptor alive.
Wow.
That is just a dead Willa. Keen just walks up and cues him with some of these autos. He does have to flash to get himself out, as the Shadow Dash does finally come off cooldown.
Yeah, the Shen Burst is just a little bit obscene.
Yeah.
Love that I am. Actually, doesn't he normally go Malignance into Rocket Belt on Annie?
Yeah, oftentimes that would be the thing.
Or as he went Leandries.
Maybe that's just the way he's evolved the build. As the culling is going to hit onto Ruler. Let's get shielded though as another ult in from Canyon. Finds a triple man. Wild growth there as well. And the Crescent Guard I don't think is going to be guarding anything at all. Down they go, one after the other. Yukal another pretty unfortunate teleport to say the least as Rich just gets a mega cone out of there. And now this gold lead has erupted.
Seeing to great effect the Neferi Lulu combo from Canyon and Duro just flying in there and disrupting completely DRX.
Dusk and Dawn's completed, by the way, guys. And Keen is really making it look pretty busted.
Yeah.
And it has been nerfed, right? Well, kind of nerfed, because now it heals the Shen.
Yeah, even better for Canyon.
Oh, Shadow Dash going to connect onto Yukal, but not too much more going to come of it.
I mean, Ability Haste on Neferi is just a little obscene, because his E already has basically no cooldown.
And getting more Ws, I think, sounds like a pretty silly thing to be able to do.
Yeah, and just spamming your Q, because not only is it a lot of damage, but you get the healing as well if you hit 2, so...
What's going on here? This is an Annie walking a crocodile down. And in the meantime, there is a siege towards this bottom side. Lazyfield was coming on over to see whether he could assist Rich, but Chovy catches wind of it. We'll just back away and then move on back to take down this inhibitor turret. Just the war of attrition is something that DRX cannot handle.
Yeah, you can see Ruler getting the damage down on the tower here. It looks like they're trying to set up for a play. There's no deep TP wards, though.
Yeah, Keen is going down very low. Still does not have flash. So Duro is going to have to help him. The Wild Growth is going to be employed.
Oh, look at Canyon.
And United is going to be there. Let's see whether Keen is going to make his way back in as Canyon has to go untargetable and is just obliterated. The 1 versus 5 was an optimistic angle. We were applauding his proactivity. That might be a step.
That was a little too proactive, yeah.
Yeah. There's proactive, and then it's there's the other thing. As Ruler's going to have to flash, but he's then able to do a fair bit of damage. Sands United comes on forward. The fire kick's brilliant, though, to make sure that he goes down, and Rich is the one to punish him. Keen, what the hell was that damage? As he just kills Lazyfield.
I think that's the Cogmore in combination.
It was that as well. But Rich now going to try and fight Chovy here. Duro moving on over to support. And there are 4 left alive on the side of DRX. They are looking real good. They might even be able to get Soul Point off this.
Yeah, should be able to. A great play coming out from DRX on the back of some... Oh, Chovy.
Well, he is going to dive towards Yukal here as Wind Becomes Lightning, but doesn't connect onto Chovy. Q does land, and Chovy is looking a little worse for wear. Gets the Molten Shield, though, and Tibbers will get angry, but I don't think it's going to be angry enough to kill Willa, or will it?
Oh, the burn?
Yeah, the burn is doing a whole lot of work. And Canyon, he's back! And so no dragon for DRX. as he gets in range for the ulti, and he takes down Willa. The resets fly forward, an instant triple, and yeah, I don't think LazyFeel wants any
damage and the Cogmore that cut the kill there.
So the Acathian surprise is part of what caught me by surprise there. So named correctly, very nicely done.
Now though, you see Gen.G taking a lot of these structures, only one inhibitor left. And Wave is coming in now. That turret is not long for this world.
Yeah, flash taunt, not quite. Oh, that was Mikhail's quite nicely there. So Yukal going to stay alive. Still they take down the turret. Rich turns up. Great knock up with the Wild Growth. Bakeen will be taken out. KRX looking a little worse for wear, but they're the ones that grab the kills. Willa goes in and then he goes out. Oh, that was
Did he shake it all about?
Yeah, he did the hokey pokey, and he's doing it in the death chamber now. As KRX, without their jungler, it is 4v4, but these Nexus turrets are really struggling at the hands of Ruler especially. Can hit them from such a far distance away. First one is going to be taken down, the next one soon to follow. As the poke is just kind of ludicrous here. Chovy finds an angle onto Rich there as well. Does get that stun down. As every time a dagger lands, I get terrified for someone just bleeding to death.
12 seconds on Willa.
Yeah, Chovy looking for an angle here, doesn't get stunned up as the living artillery is so problematic as in goes Canyon once again. Man, he is just not afraid of pressing that button. The living artillery grabbing another kill here as both LazyFeel and Yukal are the victim of that one. Willa now on the fountain as Rich is going to get taken out. There's the triple for Ruler. Will they let him pick up the penta? No, because Chovy just kills the Nexus. Oh my gosh, again! He does it as Gen.G pick up the 2-0 in Hanoi. What a